Hi, everybody. My name is Alice. Recently, I made a choice that will define my life for many years to come, and I don't know if I did the right thing or if I'll be happy. I'm the big sister in a big family, or rather, what's left of that family. Dad left us when I was 4 years old. Since then, Mom has been trying to start new relationships, but all that's left of her exes are my younger brothers, Jerome and Mark. They are 8 and 6 years old. If you think that since my mother has 3 children, she is probably constantly with us, then you're wrong. For as long as I can remember, Mom has been absent from our lives. I don't even know what she was doing. We live with our grandmother, and she said that Mom was on the road for work all the time and she was trying to make money. I don't know if that's true or not. And I wouldn't feel any better if I knew. Mom only lived with us when she was pregnant because no one else could take care of her. And a month after giving birth, she went back to work. I might have missed her then, but my head was full of thoughts about my younger brothers. I'm 18 now, and I know how to take care of children. But when Jerome was born, I was only 10 years old. I was a child myself, and my grandmother and I had to take care of him. It was hard because we could not replace his mother, but we tried our best. And 2 years later, Mark was born, and more weight fell on our shoulders. In those days, life seemed unbearably hard for me. I came home from school, and instead of homework, I took care of the kids. And instead of getting a good night's sleep before school, I spent half the night cradling Mark because he didn't sleep well. But I can't say that I hated it all. They were my brothers, and I loved them very much. So I coped with all the difficulties and tried very hard to help the boys grow up normal. Plus, Grandma was very helpful. I'm very grateful to her that she didn't just leave us, unlike my mother. So we lived together, and every year it became easier and easier. The boys are already in school, and they don't need round-the-clock supervision like babies. And I had more free time. And here he was, Alex. He's my boyfriend. We'd been dating for almost a year. We were in a serious relationship. We made life plans together, dreamed about what would happen next, and waited for our coming of age to gain complete freedom and start living together. I was sure my brothers were old enough to live without me, plus my grandmother would have stayed with them. But as it usually happens, plans for life crumble in the most horrible way. You know, I'm old enough to understand everything. And of course, I know that no one lives forever, but I didn't think it would happen so soon. Yes, our grandmother died. It was a real blow for my younger brothers. Imagine what it's like to lose someone who loved you and cared for you throughout your entire life. The boys cried all the time and just couldn't think of anything else but Grandma. It was a big tragedy for me, too, but I had to be strong to support Jerome and Mark. The whole time I was trying to calm them down and assure them that everything would be all right. But at the same time, I wanted to hide from the whole world and cry. My boyfriend sympathized with me and tried to help, but nothing could distract me from my grief. I couldn't even get my mind off those dark thoughts. Imagine that. At the age of 17, I had to deal with a funeral. I had to make a lot of unpleasant calls and organize everything. It was just awful. So big changes were waiting for us. Since my brothers and I were underage, we couldn't just go on living together. We needed a guardian. So we had to be reunited with our mom. That wasn't easy either. I haven't seen her in years. We talked on the phone every few months at most. So she came to the funeral and we talked very awkwardly. Mom looked like she wasn't sad that Grandma was dead. It was weird. Apparently, she was gone too long and had lost the link with the people in her family. But Mom seemed happy to be reunited with us. She said we would have a new life and we would be fine. Her positivity seemed odd given the circumstances. We were still at Grandma's funeral and she was smiling and happy. Anyway, we moved in together. Generally, everything was as normal as it could be after such a shock. The more time we spent together, the more I started to notice strange things. The boys continued to be sad and our mother could not find the key to cheer them up. She acted like nothing had happened, She just didn't understand that they needed attention, and she just needed to talk to them. Instead, she was getting nervous and acting weird. Sometimes she'd get mad at us, scream, and make us go to our rooms. And sometimes, on the contrary, she was so upset that she could not hold back tears right as we were having dinner. I thought she was acting like this because she couldn't get along with her kids. In the end, she behaved like a child herself. Day by day, things got even weirder. Do I even have to say all the care for Jerome and Mark fell on my shoulders? Mom didn't even know what children needed. Of course, all our childhood she was everywhere but with us. It's like I went back 5 years. I had to feed the boys again, get them to school every morning, and get them home. I was very tired of this life, and my only outlet was Alex. My boyfriend supported me, and he was the only one who cared about me. I tried to spend as much time with him as possible, because it was only with him that I could forget about my endless worries and problems and relax. He asked me to move in with him many times, but then I couldn't just leave the boys at home with their mother, who was incapable of caring for them. I dreamed that things would get better at home and I would finally be free. Alex understood that I was going through a difficult period and I just needed time. It's in these moments when relationships are tested for their strength. And we passed that test. After so many problems, we were still together. It was amazing. I loved him dearly and I was ready to give him my whole heart. I was hoping things would get better soon and we could make our dreams come true. Things began to improve at home. The boys cheered up a little, and Mom's mood swings gradually diminished. In general, life in the house had become much more comfortable. I even thought that in a month, by my birthday, everything would be just fine. The day that I turned 18, Jerome and Mark woke me up early in the morning. They made me presents, and my mother made me a delicious breakfast. I was surprised by how she handled it. Then Alex picked me up and we spent the whole day together. Everything was perfect. And in the evening, in a romantic setting, he made me the happiest girl on the planet. He said he had waited long enough, and he thought it over. Alex said he wanted to spend the rest of his life with me. And then he asked me to marry him and move to another city. We understood that at first we would have no money at all, and we would have to work hard, but we would be together. It was the fresh start that we needed so badly because we were very tired of these endless challenges. It was awkward and chaotic, and we didn't know what was coming, but I said yes. Yes, I agreed. It was exactly what we dreamed about. We lived that dream, and Alex had been saving money for it for a long time. Plus, there was a normal atmosphere at home, so I could finally leave my mom to take care of my brothers. When I got home, I couldn't wait to share what had just happened. Jerome and Mark were overjoyed by the news, but I didn't expect my mother's reaction at all. I told her I was getting married and moving, and she was surprised at first, and then she started crying. And they weren't tears of happiness. She ran out of the house crying and left in an unknown direction. It was a very strange reaction. She looked crazy. It was nighttime and I was worried about where Mom might have gone. We waited for her until late at night, but she didn't come back. So I called the police. The search continued until the morning. They found her on a bench in the park. She was just sitting there and crying. I couldn't believe my marriage could upset her so much, but then she admitted it wasn't just sadness. It started a long time ago. Mom's mood swings weren't random. She had something called bipolar disorder, and her emotional roller coasters are a part of her illness. When I said I was leaving, it came as a shock to my mother, who had just been reunited with her kids, and this caused another change in Mom's mood. My grandmother was old school. She just thought Mom had a bad temper, and she had no idea that my mother needed help. In fact, my mother, all this time, was not working. It's just that Grandma took me and my brothers for herself, and she wouldn't let Mom see us. This new information changed everything, and I was faced with a choice. I could go away with my boyfriend and fulfill my dream, or I could stay here and help my family. It was hard, and I needed to think it through. Honestly, I didn't know what to choose. It broke my heart to think of leaving Alex, and I was consumed with guilt when I imagined abandoning my brothers. I wouldn't want anyone to have to make that choice. Obviously, Mom needed help, and I couldn't leave her. And what would happen to the boys if I left? So Alex and I had a difficult conversation. Unfortunately, he got tired of waiting for my life to get better, so he decided to go without me. It just broke my heart. Apparently, our relationship didn't pass that test. And again, I need to be strong because now I'm the guardian of my brothers, and I need to help my mother with her treatment. I believe that everything will be fine and we will overcome all of our difficulties again. The thing is that I still love Alex. I think about him every day, and every time I can't hold back my tears. I really miss him. But what other choice could I have made? My brothers are my family, and I will do anything to make their lives better, because there's nothing more precious than your family. Is there anything you wouldn't do for your family? Do you think I made the right choice? Or should I have left with my boyfriend? Write about it in the comments, and don't forget to share this video with your friends.